in an inaccurate or stereotypical way. Like the old depiction of how you see like the Rain Man type character, that just doesn't work anymore.
Hi there. This is Rihanna Wright.
Let's give a round of applause for all the filmmakers and folks that were involved in the film. I want to thank you for sharing your stories with us. The portion of the night, we have a quick Q&A with filmmakers and folks involved with the film. So if there's any filmmakers or folks involved, please come take a seat. We're going to do like a 10-15 minute Q&A before we give out some awards. And just before that, we asked you guys to write your favorite film. If you have that, can you please bring it to Tara? Standing right over here. And then we're going to get started with the Q&A. Oh yeah, we have some people on Zoom as well. We don't have just one filmmaker in the room.
Just right there, dear. Oh, why don't you go half and then put it right there. Easy smeezy. Oh, we need a couple of them.
I'm just going to pass the mic over and everybody can introduce themselves and say what film is theirs.
Hi, my name is Kimber Wesley and my film was called Mine.
Hi, my name is Nikita and my film was called Floating.
Bonjour, my name is Brandon Lloyd and I am the filmmaker behind What Do You Think?
Since you guys know who they are and what film they did, does anybody have any questions?
Oh, not I would like to ask you what's the inspiration behind your video and what was your process of making it as well?
So the process was a last minute thing for me. I don't really know how it can go, but Annika, who is North Film Productions, that helped, that she was involved in making the whole thing. I was looking for a filmmaker, and it was sent to me by a friend, and he was like, "Oh, you should do this." And I was like, "Well, if I wanted to film, I probably should take opportunities at companies." So I messaged them, and they gave me a timeline of when everything was basically due, which was very soon after I sent a message. So it was sort of a quick kind of what's the most prominent thing in my life right now, and it's still very meaningful. And at the time, I had started learning breaking, and there was just a few moments while learning breaking that I was like, this has an interesting feeling when I kind of got locked in. And so then I was like, well, I want to talk about this because I want to see if other dancers in Nova Scotia felt the same way as I did. So that's kind of how it came about. And then I messaged my friends and I was like, please let me interview you. And also, can you all come dance for me?
I have a question for Kimber. How did it feel to be watching yourself sharing what you shared with an audience? How did that feel?
Awkward. Yeah. It's just, something so personal. I was doubting releasing the film for the film festivals.
Can you just share a little bit, when you come to sharing about the doubt, what was the nature of the doubt?
Yeah, also, I wasn't there for the editing process. I didn't want to traumatize the audience as well. I know it's a pretty deep story, but there were certain details that were left out that I feel like I should have put in.
One last question. What would you do differently?
I would be more active in the filmmaking and the editing process. This is my first film that I ever did, and I wasn't really ready for it, honestly. I wasn't. But I hope I can inspire other people who have gone through similar situations and people who are going through motherhood. you know, it can be hard for anybody. But yeah, and other foster children who are becoming adults and thrown into adulthood without having parents figures, strong ones.
I just want to let you guys know real quick that we also have a filmmaker on the Zoom that made the Mau Mau one, or he was the Mau Mau with the cat and the little boy. So I have questions for
All the way from Malaysia.
All the way from Malaysia, yeah. Nikita, you have a question?
Sure. I just wanted to ask all of you, because people see what appears on the screen, and of course we know it's tough, be vulnerable, be telling your personal stories, but were there other parts of the process that you found intimidating as well?
I would say, because I was part of an African program called the DIY Doc program, which also another filmmaker showcased your film here, Terry Fraser Smith, the person who did This Is Where I Live. The first time I made my film, I know I've been away from the film industry before because I wanted to go into university because it didn't want me in university because I have a certain level of mental IQ. And of course we had a pandemic, and that's when I pretty much hit rock bottom until I saw the participants. Nick, who was a high school friend of mine before I met the other participants, and I saw them on an AMI program that showcases about the program, and I felt like there was so much more to tell beyond the program. I felt like this could open a career path for autistic filmmakers in general. So yeah, I feel very confident with the film that I made. I wish I could have extended more, but because it was part of a program, I had to cut down certain things, but I'm open to an extended cut of the film.
I am so sorry. Can you please re-ask the question?
So the question is about, we see what's on the screen,
Yep.
we're all very impressed with what you've done, but were there other parts of the process of making the film that made you extremely nervous as well? The technical parts of making the film, the screenwriting, all the other stuff that goes in there.
Okay. So I'm the kid that went to film school. So I have an idea on how all of it kind of worked, but I think for myself, the most intimidating part was the sound design, because that was something that was super important for me. Was I wanted people to hear the dance, but then also then see how it felt. So, of course, I didn't do sound design, but I had lots of help doing it. But the fear was the knowledge that I have is not that strong in sound in general. So I wanted to be very careful with how I used it and just made sure that the message still came across. And I'm very grateful for Dario because they were amazing and very helpful. But yeah, sound design was the most intimidating part because sound is equally as important as everything else when creating a film. The moment that sound is off, audience notices and then kind of go, why? So it's like avoiding that, but being flexible and just allowing it to be. But we were very strategic with how sound was used, music and audio and everything. It turned out well. I'm happy with it.
It was not easy having my kids on set. I had to pick them up from daycare and it was the middle of nap time and I had clothes for them to wear and they were crying and they wanted to go up the stairs. There was that cat they wanted to play with and they wanted to touch the camera, the buttons on the camera, which is like a $10,000 camera. So yeah, that was pretty hard. There was a scene where me and Sobad were planning on doing where there was like a bathtub. And I was gonna get like my little cousin to like look in the bathtub and then like a water droplet goes in and then it like reflects to me looking into the water.
Does anyone have any other questions for these folks?
So amazing job to everyone. So my question is for you, Brandon. That was an amazing and very moving film. The first question I have is, when would we get to see the final product of what you guys are creating? It seems
Well,
so
this is the
amazing.
final product.
No,
but-
like the movie that was being created within the movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's already out on YouTube right
Yeah.
now.
I
It's
would
part of the
love to.
Autism Nova Scotia YouTube channel.
Okay. Yeah, so I would love to watch that. Second question is, I feel like there are so many very valid points that were raised. The one that struck me the most was the points around how disabled actors are being overlooked and able actors are being cast. It's an issue that I've personally been very upset with, because it's something that happens a lot where I'm from, and nobody ever seems to see an issue with it. But yeah, so that's what struck me the most. But I'm curious to know, like, from your perspective, like, what is the central message that you want people to like hold on to when they watch, after they watch this video? Like, what's the main thing that you want them to carry out, after watching this piece of work?
What's the main message that I want to carry?
Yes.
Is that I would say this to any other autistic, even autistic actors or other disabled actors, is to pretty much, I know it sounds contradictory, but also I would say play the character, but your disability is a natural extension of who you are. Because it will give you pretty much an authentic experience, because I feel like that's what we're more comfortable now in the entertainment world. Because nobody wants to be excluded from like any other roles or even authentic or
Yeah. Thank you.
Also, I like what I don't know if it was you that said it or somebody else in the film about, I think you said that people with autism would make good directors because they don't have a That's a key thing. It's very true. I like that.
Add one comment to that. It's actually funny because I made one film that pretty much had zero finances behind it, and now I've gone on to Lunenburg Dog Festival and won a launch contest with financial. So it's pretty much a coming of age director.
Yeah. More questions? I just have a question. As filmmakers, what is next? You're making a film, documentary.
My first thing was rest because I'm tired. But ideally, I would like to extend floating because it's such a short piece and it's about breaking. You kind of have to talk about a little bit of everything. However, the focus that I want is the flow state. It's mentioned at the beginning, and then you see it at the end. But then I want to dive into, like, scientifically, like psychologically, and like spiritually, what a flow state is. So that would be, because everyone has experienced a flow state in kind of anything that you do. If you do sports, if you do music, anything artsy, you kind of experience that flow state at one point or another, because it's just being in the moment and letting go, but you physically feel it, and you're kind of like, whoa. So I want to I just want to talk about it. I want to expand on the flow state, and then broaden the visuals that you see within the flow state. So I do. That's what I want to be next to me.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
I hope to make a series of like other mothers, even fathers who have struggled either being in foster care or dysfunctional families and becoming a parent after that. I feel like it's like not talked about enough, especially being in foster care. A lot of people do struggle and continue the cycle. So hopefully, if I can make another series, it will spread more awareness about that, and make people be comfortable about their traumas and their past.
Yeah, and also I'm doing another short documentary as part of the Lunenburg Dog Festival, which is going to be called Wave Theory, which is about maritime musician Leona Berkey, and also exploring her musical career and her family life with a son who's also autistic as well. So yeah, it's not like one autism project and then move on to something completely different. I continue this like it's my livelihood pretty much.
So we'd like to move quickly to the awards, but we have a few minutes. Always give us a few minutes. Okay, thank you.